Maintaining healthy relationships is already hard, but with so many communication methods these days, how can anyone expect to manage their relationships well and know exactly where to give attention when it's needed? It's not easy, but that's why we created Love Fern. Hi, I'm Anthony Ungaro, and I use he, him pronouns. Love Fern lets you take care of 8-bit ferns, each of which represents an important person in your life. Our app analyzes the sentiment of conversations you've had with your fern and updates the image accordingly. You can take various actions to improve its health when needed and cultivate strong, healthy relationships in all areas of your life.
Hi, I'm Drew Layton, he, him, and I'll be demoing Love Fern. Once we've logged in using Google's OAuth, we are taken to our greenhouse here, where we can plant a fern. I'll plant a fern for Max, who is a business associate of mine who prefers to be contacted through email. Now we can see that Max shows up here in our greenhouse under the business shelf. If we click on Max and click on Water Fern, we can input an interaction we've had with Max and have it analyzed by Google's sentiment analysis. I said something not so nice about Max, and it is now reflected in the fern health, which has withered a bit. Suppose we want to repair our relationship with Max by doing something together. We can click on Fertilize Fern and learn to sew a button together. Sure. Now our fern health with Max is looking great. Additionally, you can see here both of these things now show up under last 3 interactions. If we decide we want to end our relationship with Max, we can come down here to Compost Fern and delete Max from our greenhouse entirely. Additionally, we have a section for fern stats where we can see both the fern health over time and the interactions over time.
My name is Anthony Blackwell Talent. My pronouns are he, him, and I'll be going over the back end of our app. The tech stack that we used includes Ruby on Rails, Postgres, and we tested with RSpec, VCR, and WebMock. The APIs that we used are Google's Natural Language Sentiment Analysis API and the Board API. We deployed this app on Heroku, and it is up there now.
Hi, my name is Samuel Cox, and I'll be running through our front-end tech stack. Our stack begins with our back-end service, which is affectionately named Fernando. Fernando supplies all the necessary data to our front end, which formats that data using Ruby on Rails. LoveFern uses Bootstrap for styling, as well as Google OAuth for user authentication. All of this is tested using RSpec with Capybara, with WebMock and VCR used to reduce the load of our test suite. We use GitHub Actions for our continuous integration, and once this is all complete, LoveFern is deployed using Heroku and is currently live at www.lovefern.app.
This is Jay. I use he, they pronouns, and I'll be talking about our process, planning, and communication throughout the development of LoveFern. Our primary approach was to embrace trust and ownership while coding individual features. We split our team into 3 pairings, which divided our strengths towards front-end, back-end, and planning/documentation. Our PRs were detailed and other team members conducted thorough reviews before a merge. We also front-loaded our timeline with robust documentation writing and the creation of a detailed Trello board. This board became crucial for coordinating our goals during each of the project sprints. Because we took this time to plan and visualize goals, we were able to identify our most effective MVP and roll out or redefine our more aspirational features with our ample time remaining.
Good afternoon. My name is Brady Roerig, and my pronouns are he, him. I'll be going over a few future goals for LoveFern, as well as our thoughts on how best to scale. During development, we noted limitations with using the Google Natural Language Program Sentiment API, i.e. sometimes the results were unexpected or not in line with what a human user might think. As such, one of the main goals for future iterations of LoveFern would be to integrate other sentiment analysis APIs or AI tools to provide an aggregated analytics value that is much more robust than what is currently integrated. With regards to scaling, our application architecture as currently constructed does not require complex computational systems, and as we scale, our rate of RAM and CPU usage will not ramp up as quickly as our need to service multiple API calls concurrently. These factors combine to make horizontal scaling or integration of an AWS Lambda or similar serverless backend a better choice to meet our users' needs.
We invite you to visit the greenhouse and cultivate your own relationships at www.lovefern.app.